Welcome to episode 95 of Rebels Without a Pod, the show that dares ask the question, how many dumb, sweaty Star Wars puns can they cram into a single recording?
At least a few more.
Tonight is the rank or pit. We are going back through every film we have covered on this show, rating them in order to build our ranked public Rebels Without a Pod Letterboxd list. What will be your favorite movie's Admiral Axe score? Where will it fall?
Wow.
On the Qui-Gon Jindex? Upper or lower bib for Tierna? Will it rate a high AG88, a medium order 66? Eric is not even making eye contact with the camera.
I'm not. I was wondering, could you open this this jar of pickles for me?
Will it rate a medium order 66, or even a red 5, or a measly quarter portion? Gentlemen,
Are we still talking Star Wars? What is this?
can we make this episode in 12 parsecs, or will be such a salacious, crummy conversation that we have to max reboot the entire show? I have a bad feeling about this one. Guys,
It's going to be a long episode.
Eric, we're going to talk about Dune next. Dune 2.
Yeah. Sorry, I need to be hospitalized.
we're going to talk about Dune 2. Dune 2 chicks at once, man.
Oh,
My name is
wasn't
John.
enough.
Joining me tonight are my two co-hosts, Andy, who does our artwork and graphic design,
How's it going?
and the dead speak. The galaxy has heard a mysterious message. Somehow, Emperor Daddy Podpalpatine has returned. Andy really liked that one.
I'll
I
give
I
you
just
that
like
one.
that we're sticking with the bit. I just like that we're just going for it, man.
Yeah.
I don't know who writes this stuff. I'm just telling
Oh.
you guys what's on the paper.
Wow, Rebels
an
with a
asshole.
pod. You're my only hope.
Ladies and gentlemen, just for the record, Eric came in like a difficult mood today, so this is not unexpected. Fortunately, we also have our producer Naveen, old Lobot himself, on the ones and zeros. How we sounding, buddy?
Was
Did
that
it come through?
BB-8 or R2-D2?
Hopefully better than that, because we didn't hear any whistling.
It didn't come through.
Just
That's
put the whistle in post.
all right.
Man, it's just like
Yeah.
it's just like everybody's favorite astromech is here.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of our content is currently up on the Rebels Without a Pod YouTube and Spotify channel. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We are primarily an audio conversation show and trying to get established on Spotify. So we ask any YouTube subscribers, if you have a Spotify account and it's at all convenient, we'd certainly appreciate a listen there. Programming notes. Next week, we are continuing our canonized cycle with our listeners pick, George P. Cosmatos' 1986 action film Cobra, written by and starring Sylvester Stallone. Cobra is available to stream for free nowhere online and currently holds a whopping 21% on Rotten Tomatoes, somehow 7% higher than when I did the intro the week before. Not quite sure what's going on there. So that'll be an interesting one.
Because we've been talking it up.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah.
They got that Rebels boost.
That's right.
The week after that, we wrap up the cycle with the 1987 canon Masters of the Universe Dolph Lundgren film, currently available to stream on Tubi. We'll follow that up with a review of the new theatrical Masters of the Universe movie coming out in early June, and everything I've been sort of seeing online, hearing on the podcast I listen to, people are kind of like, there's whispers, there's rumblings. New He-Man movie, actually pretty good.
I didn't realize Jared Leto was Skeletor, and that's
Yeah.
why people are already like boycotting it ahead of time. And then people that have, I guess, seen an early screening were like, he gives him a fair shake.
Right. Apparently, he's just everybody else in like the movie is just kind of they're doing like the press junkets and like the interviews and the Fallon shit and like and everything else. But Jared Leto, I think, after this movie had kind of wrapped filming, a bunch of new shit, I guess, kind of came about him. So nobody's kind of seen him in public at all like the last 6 months.
Yeah, there was like an outcry that they wanted people to, they wanted the role to be recast.
Mm-hmm.
and have all the lines reread by somebody else.
Alan Oppenheimer
Really?
is still
Wow.
alive. You know,
That's true.
just go back to the source.
That's right.
Especially now. I mean, he's 96. He's an old bony dude. Like, you know, what else could you ask for there?
Kind of perfect.
All right. So like we said, tonight we're going to be going through the exercise of going through every single feature film that we've covered on the show. But first, I did want to do, because this is we kind of stumbled backwards into like a bad kind of Star Wars kind of pun theme for this one. I was the only one, I believe, out of the four of us this weekend so far who's seen The Mandalorian and Grogu. Am I correct in saying that? Nobody else has seen it.
You are correct, sir.
Literally nobody else has seen it, according to the numbers.
All right. Is anybody planning to see it at one point?
I mean, definitely when
Nope.
it comes to streaming, but
Okay.
I don't
Exactly.
know about theaters.
You're not going to leave the house for it at all.
I had no interest in it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sort of that being the case, I'm going to be sort of super quick on my review of it. It was 2.5 stars for me. It was like 5 out of 10. Anything that you sort of hear, you know, the most common criticism is it's 3 episodes of the TV show stitched together. It's just 3 episodes of the TV show literally stitched together. There was no story arc. Nobody changes. Nobody grows. Nothing really surprising happens the entire time. There's individual fun moments. There's a lot of great shit with puppets. Martin Scorsese plays a 4-arm monkey alien that runs a chopped cheese food truck. That's kind of entertaining.
Huh?
It's exactly what I just said. Like word for word.
You heard me.
You heard me.
Did I stutter?
I didn't say Zach Galifianakis.
What else? There's a scene at a hut lair that Mando and Grogu go to at the start of the movie where they kind of pass this tunnel, and there's very clearly 3 huts doing bong rips and having a gangbang. It's just a blink in the mist sort of thing, but it's extremely clear what's happening as they're walking by like this sweaty hut tunnel.
Does anybody join them for the hits?
A pizza guy shows up with a delivery, and
Nice.
it's Pizza the Hut. So that
Is it? Yeah, Space Dominoes.
What else? It's like the puppet shit is fun. Like literally at one point, like 4 Babu Fricks just show up at the house, and it's like just Grogu's hanging out with his 4 crazy uncles that just kind of hairy and run around screaming.
Can I just call you out on saying Babu Fricks? And then Andy
Babu
doesn't
Fricks.
even blink an eye. He just keeps doing
No.
his own thing.
Uh-huh.
I don't know which one that is. I was about to ask, which one is a Babu
So
Frick?
the one good part though, the rise of
Is it just
Skywalker.
one Babu Frick, or is it Fricks? I heard plural, so maybe there's multiple Fricks.
It's actually a frickin' if there's 4 of them like that.
Whoa, a murder of Fricks.
Babu Frick was like the little mechanic guy in Rise of Skywalker. It's like the only good thing about the movie.
Okay.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. And,
Yes. Got it.
So it's the funniest thing in the movie. Is there's a character called Rada the Hutt. He's the son of Jabba the Hutt. He fights in the gladiator pits. He's crazy jacked. He has like a Hutt 6-pack.
The ripped one. Okay. I was going to ask about that.
It is voiced by Jeremy Allen White, Carmine Brazato from The Bear.
Yeah.
They made this dumb fuck decision that all the Hutts, rather than being subtitled in this movie, just speak plain English. But at least 5 different times in the film, Rada the Hutt stares straight in the camera and goes, "You don't know how tough it is to have Jabba the Hutt as your dad."
Shut up.
That does not
Lame.
happen.
And then he looks at Mando again. He's like, it's impossible to be your own man when you have Jabba the Hutt as your dad. And again, it's fucking Jeremy Allen White, not doing an accent, not doing like a crazy alien voice. It's just it's like Jabba the Hutt was my dad. I got this restaurant in Chicago. It's really making me kind of like depressed.
I mean, his name is Barada the Hutt, so he's like, what am I going to do with all this cheese?
Did he then chug some V8 juice?
Right.
Yeah.
Barada the Hutt was actually not Jabba's. He was the illegitimate son of Pizza.
As long as he doesn't spill out all over his chest.
Yeah. I don't know. It's there's moments in this movie that are really kind of charming and really sort of fun, but it's not a film, like, at the end of the day. And it's
at this time, right? It's like
right.
this was technically supposed to be the 4th season of Mandalorian.
Correct.
Why don't they do like the Guardians of the Galaxy thing, where it's like Groot gets killed, and then Groot starts growing up, and then there's like teenager Groot, and then adult Groot again. Like, why couldn't they have Grogu like age? I mean, he is aging, but he ages so slowly. But just make him a little bigger, give him a little more sass.
He goes through no arc and story. Like, a little bit of a spoiler. Jump ahead 30 seconds. Don't want to hear about this, but there is a 20-minute section towards the end of the movie where Mando is just kind of completely out of commission, and it's an almost completely silent, like, Muppet movie of just Grogu trying to go around and protect them on the swamp planet. There's no dialogue. There is it's almost entirely like kind of practical kind of puppet work. That's really sort of cool. It's like there's shit in this thing, but it's just it's not a movie at the end of the day, because everybody, we talk about this as a story structures thing, like on the pod, like sometimes, but it's like when you have a film, the film is supposed to be how the character changes over the course of the film, and especially for one of these mythic hero's journey style movies like Star Wars has always been, it's supposed to be the thing that the hero kind of goes out, gathers allies, has an adventure, has a face down, comes back home sort of like a changed person. This film does none of that. Everybody is exactly identically where they are by the time, like, the movie actually wraps up.
I feel like probably because it was just rushed at the very end.
Yeah.
Little notice to Jon Favreau. They're like, we're going to cash in on Grogu. Let's just kind of do it. We'll make it like a feature length thing, and we'll just take some of the scripts and just kind of smush stuff together. Right. And so that's why you don't get those like buildups for why does Barada the Hutt speak English? Maybe over 8 episodes, he's just like.
My theory about that is it was probably, the Hutts. One of the cool things about the Hutts is they got that chaka that's yes. Always been the fun, memorable shit that they do when everything has to be subtitled. I guarantee you, some suits at Disney, they were filming the thing, and all the Hutts were like originally kind of speaking the alien language with subtitles, and then they went out to Sherman Oaks, California, and they gathered a market research group together of just 12 like the biggest suburban American dumb fucks you could possibly imagine. They stuck them in the theater. They're like, "What'd you think of this movie?" And they're just like, when I go to a theater and I gotta buy a ticket and I gotta pay for popcorn, I don't want to read. I don't want to read. And then they're just like, "Okay, great, perfect." All the Hutts just speak normal fucking.
Everybody speaks English. Grogu's like, "Gentlemen, what are we doing today?" We eat purple Norpal. We got to smoke. Let's do this.
It's and they're just like, "Oh, okay, yeah, great. No more subtitle, no more reading. We'll we'll have you guys back as undecided voters in the fall, like whatever." Just this goddamn.
Oh, this sounds so great! I can't wait to watch it on Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's man, I love Star Wars shit so much. I'll leave you guys on this. This is went for a long, wonderful hike up in the Spring Mountains earlier today. Blank Check put out a 3-hour podcast about Mandalorian and Grogu, and like the most charming thing I learned about this film is there is one scene. Jon Favreau directed the entire thing, but he had like one kind of set of interior shots that they were doing one day, and he's like, I can keep an eye on the cameras. I don't really have to kind of do too much of that. So he set up a grill station while they were filming this thing. And for that particular day, while they were making the movie, Jon Favreau personally grilled and served 500 grilled cheeses to the cast and crew of the movie. Which, good on him, right?
And
this
movie, he had that movie about a food truck. So
action.
The
He
best
didn't do
way
enough work. He had to make him lunch too.
How can we cut costs here? We were going to order out, but grilled cheese. You want grilled cheese?
We're not going to have a chef this time, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
Star Wars has been as good as it gets to be.
Everything else has been kind of subbed out to AI. It's but you know, this is not my original thought. This is like one of the big things they landed on during the blank check discussion. But the movie does kind of have the energy of being made by a guy who's also cooking a grilled cheese at the same time.
You guys keep filming. I'm over here. I got to kind of scrape the griddle.
So what I'm hearing is that there was really absolutely no need for this movie to be made, and it's just Disney trying to milk more money out of a fandom, or I should say out of a whole world that was only good for the first 3 episodes. Sorry, the second 3 episodes.
The theory that I've heard put forth repeatedly is people loved the first Mandalorian, a little mixed in the second season, hated the third, but Baby Yoda dolls, Baby Yoda branded toys have been perennial bestsellers since the show debuted in 2019. A lot of people think this is just a Cars situation. You know, there's been 3 Cars movie, 2 plane spinoffs. This is a lot of what people really legitimately think with this film is it represents something called a brand deposit, where they're just like, you know, it only costs $150 million to make, with sort of like, you know, just brought of the hut, like all like the free grilled cheese people are kind of getting everything. But they're just like, we spent $150 million on this. It probably makes its money back, but it also puts the Baby Yoda toys back in the public consciousness. And we got like another like 5 or 6 years of like consistent revenue out of that.
I want to see Andy's notes, by the way. He looks like he's taking a lot of notes about this. I bet all it says is a notebook. It's just like Mandalorian film shit. Underlines it like 3 times, and then under that it says rewatch the Bear seasons 1 and 2 ?
Cousin,
how did you know?
Andy's writing shit down like I was reading from the Origin of the Species.
The birthday party, they're all tuckered out.
No, I see. Okay, this is a little bit behind the curtain how the sausage is made, but I was planning on printing out the list of all the movies.
Okay.
Because it'll just help me to kind of, I don't know, remember what I ranked everything, or I don't know, something like that. But my printer didn't work, so I just wrote them all down. And we've watched a shit ton of movies, guys.
It's 79 features.
It's stupid.
On the final list, we have scores for 1 of them.
Correct. Oh, yes.
Is Jim Henson Studios involved whatsoever in this franchise, like in the TV series or the movie?
I would assume that there's some like again the puppetry with Yoda and the Babu Fricks is really like legitimately incredible.
I saw online that Grogu, I don't know if you've seen it. It's called like Sad Face Grogu or whatever, and it's like the animatronic of Grogu, and it just shows like all the like
the full range of like expressions.
Body's been stripped, and you just see the mask of Grogu on the head, and it just has a sad face, and it just shows like his mechanical body.
It sounds like a 5 Nights at Freddy's thing.
Yeah, it kind of does.
I'm Googling as we speak.
I'm
not having any luck. Oh, there it is.
Like, if Henson Studios is involved and they want to do this right, they should have just had like the post-credit scene, like the Mandalorian's like, he's like, "Hey Grogu, you want to go for a bike ride?" He's like, and then it just recreates like the Muppet movie bike scene, where there's all riding bikes,
and then there's like a deep fake Charles Grodin just singing opera at him. Miss Piggy is screaming, "Your voice was dubbed." We used to be a countryman. Okay, so final thoughts, Mandalorian and Grogu. If you're looking for something over the summer, over the holiday weekend to take your kids to, can't speak for anything else that's sort of come out so far, but the best family movie I've seen recently by far still is The Sheep Detective, kind of one that's hiding in plain sight. It's like a film that has so much imagination and emotion and integrity, and sadly it's actually like a hit in Europe right now. It was kind of floundering in the States like a little bit. You're looking for something to take the kids through that they will actually love and feel and be fulfilled by, and actually kind of learn some from. Can't recommend that little movie enough.
Or take them to go see Michael.
Don't.
That will fill them with other feelings. So, when's part 2 coming out? All the hits were in the first half of his catalog, kids.
There's no part 2. Let's just forget part 2.
Part 2 dead. There we go.
I still love that Nick Kroll joke about how Joe Jackson looks like a California raisin fucked the devil.
Yeah.
I always come back to that.
Yep. What other interesting things are there about him?
Too soon. Let's get into the Rancor pit. Gentlemen, the trapdoor has been sprung. We're down there among the rocks and the dirt. Let's take it back. Let's take it way, way back to April.
This is all you guys, by the way.
Yeah.
I wasn't here for this first one, so.
Right. So it's set up. So that we can that like the spreadsheet will sort of like accommodate the number of guests that we have for any particular pod. Basic rules are everybody just kind of scores the movie out of 25, and we at the end we'll see what the ranking are. See how the rankings turn out, and we will be soon putting up a Rebels Without a Pod Letterboxd account that will be live, updating like the list as we move forward. So let's start episode number 1. Back in the day, The Rock, 1996.
Can you smell it? It's
I either smell The Rock or Ranker doo-doo. I'm not sure. Andy, this I believe was with our first episode and your pick for the cycle. What are we scoring this one out of 25?
Before I score anything,
yes,
I just want to put the caveat out there. Much like my Letterboxd reviews or my Letterboxd rankings, none of these numbers are going to follow any kind of common sense. They're like, just because I rank one film higher than another film, that doesn't necessarily mean I liked it more. That's just the number I felt like saying in the moment. So read absolutely nothing into any of my rankings. Johnny, you're going to take this much more seriously than I am. And Eric, you're probably going to take it less seriously. So anyway. The Rock, I am going to give, so this is out of 25, I'm going to give it 16.
16 out of 25. Papa, do you want to weigh in on like The Rock generally, or do you want to sit this one out?
This was the one where I didn't see the film. I haven't seen it since I was like, 17, 18. But I recreated for you guys what I thought the film was about.
Right.
The whole thing with Nicolas Cage is in jail with Sean Connery, and he's just like
Zeus's butthole.
Something.
We were almost going to be. Joe was almost going to be Zeus's buttholes at one point.
That's true. Yeah.
This episode would have a different name.
Based on what I thought it was about, which I was really excited. I thought it was something new and refreshing. I would give it a 15.
A 15. Coming from me, this is also still like a 3 out of 5 for me. I had not seen it since I saw it like in theaters back in 1996. I had a good time in theaters. Had a good. It was perfectly fine watching again, but this is a movie I had completely in my head then. It's as well made of a standard 90s actioner I think you can do with this kind of thing. 15 seems perfectly reasonable for me. Naveen.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, I remember loving it, going to theaters, and still, thinking it was really good. As a second watch, or watching it for this, not a second watch, but watching it for this episode and things, I'm actually gonna go 19.
19 on this one.
I think we should dock it 5 points because there were no actual Fraggles in this film.
You want me to tell just nothing here says no.
Fine.
Okay.
Sean Connery's his pizzazz brings it back up another 5 points.
That's true.
At one point, he picks up a rock. He's like, "Is this a rock?"
Our Eric and I, our certain mutual friend we refer to as Max Fontaine for the purposes of the show, loved the prom queen quote so much.
He would probably give this a 24.
No question. All right. Coming to Naveen's pick. I remember like sweet little moment because he wanted me specifically. He's like, Johnny's never seen this one. He has to see this one. Big Trouble in Little China. Andy, we'll start with you.
Big Trouble in Little China. So I'm not going to rank anything a 25 because I feel like I need to leave that for the just in case. And I'm hesitant to rank anything at 24 as well. So right now, 23 I think is my number for Big Trouble in Little China, but it is easily one of my favorite movies that we've watched. Easily.
Awesome. Papa, how about yourself?
I said this after watching it for this pod. Shame on me for not watching it sooner.
Had you also not seen?
I had seen it. I saw it when I was younger, and it was something that we had
just
family friends over. They threw it on, and it was just all the craziness. There's so many moments I remembered about it. So what I remembered it being like in my head from when I was a kid matched up exactly with what it was when I rewatched it, and it's a fantastic movie. I'll give it a 24. 24.
For me, had never seen it, knew nothing about it, realized I did not even know the basics of kind of what this film was. I've said previously on the show, there's two perfect Carpenter movies. There's this one and like one we're going to talk about in just like a couple entries. But this was a 25 for me. I'm like this thing is masterful front to back. It's so far ahead of its time. Nobody must have had any goddamn clue what Carpenter was doing, taking a late 70s high budget wuxia kung fu sort of magical epic, dropping it in modern San Francisco, having basically the entire basically the exact same cast, except let's also add a dumb fuck American sort of just Stallone Schwarzenegger sort of muscle bound hero who accomplishes nothing or actively sets shit back like the entire time. This thing must have fucking baffled people. I was astounded. I was fascinated from the drop. It's great. It doesn't lose a beat the entire time. It's one of the very few 25s I'm going to give out.
I have to add, it also had Razar from the Ninja Turtles in it.
I went to the Mortal Kombat 2 movie the other day for like matinee because I just had nothing kind of better to do. There's one good joke the entire time is that Carl Urban is there. He plays Johnny Cage. Raiden shows up and he just goes, "What's up, Big Trouble in Little China?"
Nice.
Wink, wink.
Yeah. That and Katana was crazy hot. Like that one.
Nice.
Yeah. She apparently she was half Korean, half German, looked identical to a former coworker I had in Tokyo from Azerbaijan. I don't actually know how the math on that works.
See, that's what I'm afraid of for the Street Fighter movie coming up. I've seen clips of all the actors dressed up in their costumes and stuff, and who they pick for Chun-Li. I mean,
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
Isn't Ken also the guy playing He-Man?
No.
Is it?
No.
Yeah.
Different dude.
I don't know.
Different dude. Okay.
Yeah.
The guy playing He-Man is definitely in The Sheep Detective, and not a role you would think.
Okay.
He plays
number 7.
Not a sheep. Yeah.
He plays a reporter at the beginning of the movie who is mystified why this entire quaint English village is infatuated with Return to Oz. That's
a great question.
That's such a
welcome to my world.
Naveen, going to you. Big Trouble.
Big Trouble. I was also thinking 23, and just a fun movie. Great effects, just whacked out storyline, and great puppetry. Just everything you'd want. Some romance in there.
Kim Cattrall. Yeah. Really, really cute in this thing. Really fun. Like not a
I like her spunk and sassiness.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would.
Yeah.
Jesus, I'm sitting there like just one of the most irritating characters, the most irritating shows that sort of come out like my adult life. She's
really like here comes Samantha. She's gonna do her Samantha thing. Be all Samantha like, and
she's like a little ball of sunshine instead. It's great. So Naveen, what's this getting?
23. 23 was fantastic. Right. Yeah.
Coming out with a total of a 95, so like a very early top contender. Akira. This was so these first four we called our introduction to podcasting cycle. This was Eric's pick.
Hell yes.
Where the fun started. Andy, let's start with you here.
5.
5.
Whoa.
Damn.
Ooh.
I mean, you did warn us. No rhyme or reason. So
Yeah.
5 points are for the animation.
Only 5 points for the end. They invented a new color, red.
17 years spent on making this. No,
Yeah.
not
All they get. Sorry, man.
That's a 5.
No, don't apologize to me.
Apologize to the island
Sweaty
nation of
animation
Japan
shop of like 370 people.
and all the wonderful things they give us.
Yep.
Eric, going to you.
I think this is a great introduction film to anime for anybody who hasn't seen any anime before. This was the 80s. Something like this coming out was able not just to be a huge hit in Japan, but able to pierce the barrier and make it through to the States. And it's groundbreaking and for so many reasons, mainly the animation, the music, and the feelings that it makes you invoke.
Incontrovertible, even kind of watching it like 40 years after the fact. Jesus fucking Christ.
I agree. If you've read the manga, which it's 6 books, and it just read it. Just read it. It's so good. It's tough to take something that big, that kind of story, and then just kind of force it into like an hour and 30-minute window or whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think they did the best they could with what they had there, and I mean, God, the animators were so exhausted just putting everything together. But yeah, I'll give it a 17.
17. To build on what Eric said, like a little bit, this is a 2,000-page manga that we're talking about. The artistry, the effort, the imagination, the technology they had to put in, the work that they did, how much of an influence it has had in like the decades that followed. You know, this is one of the things that in like the States, arguably, it sort of got the ball rolling on maybe what is the dominant thing in like American youth culture. But with all that being said, I think, you know, they fucked up something fundamental, which is trying to do the whole thing inside like a 90-minute feature-length film. Like, you know, this is, you got to figure before Lord of the Rings. This is for sort of like kind of these sort of massive miniseries were just really were a thing that could get done with a work of like this length and scope. The movie for me is it's a 5 out of 5 for the imagination, but it's a 1 out of 5 for just, rather than them trying to be focused or think about what within this world could we actually make a coherent film about. They just try to do like way the fuck too much. So this one for me is like balancing out that 1 and that 5 stars. I think it's a 12. Naveen?
Wow, that's weird. I also was thinking 12 myself, so I'm going to go 12. Yes, animation, all of that stuff was really cool, but it did put in a lot. It was a lot of thinking and trying to understand what was going on with a lot of things and being able to find out where the plot was going. That kind of lost me. But yeah, the animation was definitely cool. The idea was cool. It'd probably be better off as a multi-part thing, as, you know, obviously the books are. But
if it had been made in any decade following that would have been the obvious path, I think.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So going with 12 on this one as well.
Okay. Our first, ending the introduction to podcasting cycle. This was my choice. This was the first horror film that we watched on the show, and horror has kind of become, like, for good or bad, it's got like a really interesting through line on like a lot of the episodes that we've done. Andy, let's start with you. John Carpenter's The Thing.
This one is one of my other favorite movies that we've watched on this pod in the 2 years that we've been doing it. I tied it with Big Trouble in Little China, 23.
23.
Yep.
No argument there. Eric?
The Thing is a classic. It's so good. I love all the animatronics. Anytime they have a monster show up, it's just, I'm telling you, if you haven't seen this film,
it's impossible. It's like impossible how they did that with the money that they had and the technology that they had.
It's 1982. It's
Right.
crazy. Before all those like classic 80s horror films that you saw, or like Steven Spielberg films, they had this out there, and what they were able to do is it's crazy.
Even the blood, though. I mean, you can't do that with animatronics. It still looked like liquid as it was on the floor and it was moving around. In that one scene, that was impressive.
The standing theory a lot of people had is they just found a real thing.
Yeah, there's actual aliens.
Yeah,
all of it was real.
But it's astonishing, the special effects, and just considering, like you said, 1982. Eric and I both have younger siblings the same age. This film predates both of them. This is how old this shit is at this point. Like it's just an astounding piece of work.
But even the storyline was still good. You know, it still kept you
on top of one of the best, surprising, interesting, engaging the whole time. You not only have perfection on every other level, but you just have this incredible puzzle box of a story on top, like the best executed sort of kind of setting and performance and visuals that you have.
Yeah.
The thing I love too is when you have movie with just heavy practical effects, and then you also have a scene where it's showing they discovered a giant alien ship, like in Antarctica, and you don't even realize it's a painting. Like it's just it's not. They didn't put together a giant ship and put it out there, and then they filmed it, and it cuts so naturally to that scene. You don't pick up on it right away. So I'm like, they're using, with what budget they have, so many different effects.
They just knew these three Italian guys living in Pasadena. They're like, these are the best middle-aged matte painters that we can get for cheap, like the entire county. They'll come in for a week. And
I watched it with my family, and nobody said one thing about that scene. Like, hey, that's somebody painted that. They're just like, oh shit, look at the size of that ship. And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty big. A lot of aliens.
One of the great things that I always say about kind of having this podcast is when you have these, just when you kind of like have these discussions week to week, it does make you kind of slow down and just to take a little time to appreciate. Even making like the bad to mediocre versions of these things can be really fucking complicated and hard when you have like a masterpiece like this. Just when any deep dive into any angle of how these things are put together, just it blows your mind, the work and talent involved.
I will give this a 25 because I was reading facts about this film, and it took them 3 months to train a computer to be a cheating bitch. So, credit due.
Credit due. I've said my piece already. This is 25 as well for me.
24 for me.
24. So that pulls into the lead. Unsurprisingly, for like a bunch of like middle-aged guys doing movie podcasts, we liked the first two Carpenter films we covered.
Shocking.
All right, going into our coming of age cycle, I believe this was Naveen's pick up top. This is 1995 Empire Records. Andy, let's start with you.
Empire Records was a favorite of mine back in the day. I actually was not on this episode. I was in Minnesota. For some reason, I will never forget that. However, I've seen it a number of times. This one.
You still want to score it? That's fine if you do.
Yeah, I will still score it. It doesn't hold up. 13.
13. Eric, how about yourself?
Wow, you really are all over the place. Mark. Hey, Mark.
Mark.
Is that you, Guar? Come on over, buddy. Let's jam. I watched this film twice. I think I probably talked about this on the record. The first time I watched it, it brings me back to that time in the 90s where I'm just like, oh God, all those other films coming out at the time. And also, for our age, being like 15, 16, navigating high school, kind of going through all that kind of shit and thinking about what do you do when you actually graduate from high school and go to college and job after that. And I think it was more relatable probably in the 90s, but watching it twice and bringing myself back there, I think I needed time to get to that place. And so the second viewing, I actually liked it a lot more. And I think it's like a Breakfast Club for the 90s. So I would give it a 17.
17. I believe I ended my review of our episode about this movie kind of like saying like this is the most kind of succinct way I can like express this, which is This movie made me sentimental for a period of my life I am not sentimental about. The film does not, I think, work particularly well overall. It's like, the jokes are all over the place. The editing is kind of weird. It's kind of like incoherent at parts, but scenes of, like, we would have not seen Guar together had it not been for like this film. But other scenes of just everybody in the record store dancing together, or just I believe it actually might have been Mark's friend randomly dropping by, or maybe one of the younger just one of the other kind of workers at the record store. His friend kind of pops in. He's like, "Hey, here's a mixtape. I know you're getting into music for the first time, so we're going to sort of build up. Here's like the '50s doo-wop stuff, going up to Pink Floyd and Zeppelin to like kind of '90s shit that's kind of like relevant like right now." The everybody jamming out to the AC/DC section. Warren watching the kids. Warren, just being kind of like this mean, shitty teenager with this very conventional problem of just not having friends, music, or really anything sort of valuable to do for his life. Jim watching the like three guys working the store dance around, and that's all he wants to do for the remainder of the movie is just have that music, have those friends, and have that purpose. Ultimately, yes, he does bring a fucking loaded revolver into the store as a way to kind of move that along. So there's shit in here that's crazy and very, very dated. But this is a movie I at the start did not think would work for me, but has only kind of grew in my heart over like the watch, and has only just kind of has become like a warmer thing for me since then. So this is also a 17 for me.
Question: What's Warren's last name, by the way?
We need him back on the show. We really, really need him back on the show. I want to hear about plans for summer, his workout routine, like other cousins.
His remarkably realistic Boston accent.
Right.
Yep. Any burger flavors?
Hey, open my own franchise.
I want to see if he's had any problems with that hairy police officer, Billy Secord. Bill. Naveen, what's your score for this one?
This one I'm going to go 18. It was a fun movie when I was a kid. 96, that coming of age thing, and I still enjoyed it. Yeah, there are things that don't hold up and are not so good there, but overall, the music scene, wanting to be work in a music store would be so awesome, or play on the marquee as a band would have been awesome. So maybe now that Andy owns a music store, maybe play on the marquee there.
If only I had a marquee.
Yeah. So 18.
If only you had employees who looked like Liv Tyler in 1990.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Right.
So, there's also just random bottles of blue cheese everywhere.
Yeah.
That is true.
I literally remember calling Andy while he was on a work trip because it was so fucking funny when I wrote about that. I'm like, I have to tell someone. Andy was in a cab. I'm like, you got 5 minutes?
I was in a taxi. Yeah.
You gotta hear this blue cheese. All right.
And I'm cackling in the back seat of this taxi cab, and my Somali driver is like, "What the hell am I doing here? I was a doctor where I came from."
So Jesus, I got to go back to Mogadishu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uber does not tip well.
Yeah.
No.
Moving on. This is Andy's pick for the coming of age cycle, Almost Famous, Cameron Crowe. Andy, let's start with you.
This is another one that didn't hold up for me the way it wasn't as good as I remembered it. The soundtrack still absolutely is just brilliant and amazing. It makes the movie. I'm giving this one also a 13.
Okay.
But I would say at least half of those points are for the soundtrack.
Got it. Eric, how about yourself?
Oh, hey, wow, look. Special guest Jimmy Fallon in the movie.
Fallon's in that.
Tries to
right.
keep a straight face and then just
and Marin he starts every podcast with. Lock the gates.
I don't know who's listening to this. I was not a fan of this film. If I had seen this when it had first come out around that time, I would still have zero nostalgia for this film. I'll give it, for what it was attempting to do, an 8.
An 8.
And I'm being generous.
Yeah. This movie is competently made and means a lot to like a lot of people. This has kind of like the inverse of Empire Records for me in that I didn't like it when I first watched it, and I've only gotten grown just colder to it. Like the longer that I've sat with it, I think it's a movie about unsympathetic, contemptible people just doing dumb things and making the wrong decisions and just moving incoherently through this world every single time. The lead kid would bump into Jay Baruchel and he's like, "I'm following Led Zeppelin around." I'm like, let's please fucking cut to that movie for the rest of this goddamn. I thought the lead
Sounds
was
like risky business.
a little weirdo. I thought Penny Lane was just a real cunt. Was just
wow. That was a deep cut. I have to add too, the kid that was traveling around with the band.
Right.
He's just like, wait, Penny Lane's like really like messed up right now. I think I'm just gonna take advantage of her.
Yeah, like a little rapey boy. Nasty little rapey boy.
He's just like, hey, you know what? I'm going to take what I can get. I mean, look, it's Kate Hudson. I'm not saying I would do the same thing, but I'm just saying if just she's pretty attractive. She was there. I might
back into consciousness. She's like, oh no,
I might rub my cheek against her
still
cheek.
going to obsess over that fucking guitarist. What did he trade her for? It was like a 6-pack or something.
It was a case of beer and something else.
Yeah.
Like $50.
Perhaps to be named later. I don't know, something like that.
And she's just like, she's like, I've just been sex trafficked, but love is love.
Yeah, he's like, can I get a lock of your hair to sniff while I'm taking a bus back home?
Right. Frances McDormand, goddamn infuriating in this. This is not an actress I respond to well generally, but
this is the one where she was just not feeling it, right?
He was just not feeling any of what was going on. The only person I think like Philip Seymour Hoffman, iconic performance, but it kind of feels like he's in like the wrong movie. And then I just respect Zooey Deschanel. She's like the older sister in this. Like the first 5 minutes, she's like, yeah, you know what, my mom's nuts. Little brother's not is a creepy little weirdo. I'm just gonna piece the fuck out and not be in this movie until the last 30 seconds of it.
Yeah, she's like, what are you listening to? Fuck that music. Why don't you check out this new Death Cab for Cutie single? It's pretty sweet, huh?
He's like, oh, never mind. Let me take that back.
Yeah, he's just like, ugh.
It's like the Voices for Quitters. This one's a 3.
Wow.
Mean.
Man, all those things said is going to make me look like something else.
Right.
I'm going to go with an 18 on this one. It was the first time I saw it. I thought it was really cool to watch. Yes, the soundtrack helped a lot. But at the same time, it's kind of neat going through the actual story of, I'm blanking on his name, but it was the article he wrote.
Cameron Crowe.
Oh, it's Cameron Crowe's own. He got to start at 16, following around the Allman Brothers, which again, it's another movie I would have much rather seen.
Yeah.
Right, but maybe there was just too much red tape behind it that he couldn't do it exactly the same way. That he had to change it around a bit or do something. But going with 18, I thought it was. I really enjoyed it.
Good Boys. Eric's pick 4. The coming of age cycle, the newest thing we covered the pod at that point. Sort of a dark horse pick. What did you think of this one, Andrew?
Famously loved this movie. Thought it was great.
Again, the film is Good Boys.
It is Good Boys.
Good Boys.
Not Great Boys.
Not Great Boys.
The movie is called Good Boys, and it is a mediocre film. 6.
This was a 6 for you.
Woo.
Eric, how about yourself?
If anybody's curious how it is being on a pod with Andrew, this will give you a perfect picture of.
Right.
I'm definitely a multiple personality kind of guy.
No, I'm going to feed this whole spreadsheet into an AI later and be like, it's just how much do we like each other based on this?
It was a tough start, but we got better as we went along. He finally made it up for Terminator, so.
Yeah,
Goodbyes. I saw this one. Wacky film. A bunch of kids, talking about topics they really shouldn't be talking about. Produced by Seth Rogen. So, I mean, what do you expect? It's it is, you're gonna get what you expect. I gave it a 19.
19. I had not a great time, but a pretty good time with this. Favorite joke in the entire thing would just be Will Forte telling his son, "I will always love you, but I no longer like you." Pretty good stuff. This was a 12 for me. We discussed in the pod, but Superbad has just the longest shadow over this movie.
Yeah.
All right. This one's an 18 for me. I loved it. It was the second time I saw it, and it was just funny, raunchy, and I thought it was great because it brought you into the middle school setting as opposed to all these high school type things. You know, that's where Superbad was high school, but this was middle school, and it was just great with the adolescence of them not knowing some of the stuff and knowing some of the stuff, and all, you know, the sex toys. Fantastic. He's got a swing. All right.
Swing, yeah. You want to go swing? Your parents swing? Oh, this is awesome.
So it was great.
Okay, going on to my pick at the end of the coming of age cycle, like a little bit of a zag, but this is 1979, The Warriors. Andy, start with you.
What a great movie. This is one of those ones that I wish I had seen sooner. Don't know why I hadn't seen it before this watch. Loved it. I would give this one, I'd say, a 21.
21.
Wow. I can see those little glass bottles on your fingers, Andy.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Eric.
Right.
Eric.
Let's
watch Akira.
The episode runs long. It's just Andy's gonna get real Coney Island on us.
Shut up, watch a movie, have a hot dog. Yeah. Warriors. And also to learn this was like a Rockstar game. Crazy. So crazy. It was that loved. I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was a great film. Again, 1979. Not sure why I hadn't seen this one. It was a joy to watch. I give it time. Yeah, I give it a 21 as well.
21. This one for me, again, you know, like the very basic plot of a gang from Coney Island has to fight their way from the North Bronx down through 3 different boroughs to kind of get back their home turf. Didn't know, but for, you know, when we covered the show, based on a Greek epic adventure story from 600 BC called Bellerophon. Fucking amazing premise, amazing behind the scenes stuff, like the entire time. It's a film I feel should, like that should be more famous for people our age rather than this kind of just it's certainly kind of known among kind of niche genre enthusiasts and kind of film nerds, but this is I don't know why this isn't kind of more famous than it was, and this was something that I was really thrilled that you guys responded to as well as you did. So I will say a 23 for this one. Naveen.
Awesome. I'm going to go with a 20 on this one. I loved it. It was the second time I've seen it. I wish I'd seen it earlier. I first saw it in the early 2000s. But it was great. Enjoyed it very much. Great storyline, acting throughout to bring that storyline out, and just fun adventure to see if they would make it to Coney Island.
Cool.
And video game developers that are out there listening, I'm sure there's a ton of them. Please make another game. I know I haven't played the Rockstar one, but I hear it was sort of middling. But please make another one of these.
It's the most obvious concept for a video game like you can possibly think of.
Yep.
It came out like 20 years later, 25 years after the movie.
And it was still like a decent hit, I want to say. Like the reviews were not, I mean, they were not stellar, but they were not bad at the same time. And it's supposedly they got a bunch of the original voice actors and they kind of filled in like some like the plot lines, like the extra stages. What they did was looked at like the subway maps of New York, and they just were like, oh, we need to kind of pad this part out here. They just added extra stops that like that the Warriors had like on their journey kind of back down their journey back down to Brooklyn.
Yeah, and this was I just looked it up on eBay. This was a PS2 game. It's going for about $75 right now.
Jesus.
So that's aftermarket.
Naveen's pick for we went Asian cinema for this, and like the one and only Central Asian film we've covered on the pod so far, but 1975 Bollywood mega classic Sholay. Andy, what'd you think of this one?
This is such an inexplicable movie on this podcast, because when I watched it, I sat down to watch it the first time. I got about 15 minutes into it, couldn't continue. I was just like, I can't believe I have to watch like 7 more hours of this movie. Sat back down, tried to watch, continued to watched another maybe 25 minutes and was like, I can't believe I still have to watch another 12 hours of this movie. And then sat down the third time and fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. I don't think I've ever watched a movie where I couldn't possibly imagine finishing it, to the point where I was sad when it was over. 18
on this one.
Yep.
3 hours and 24 minutes.
Yeah, 27-hour movie.
It's that sweet spot, that sweet 90-minute sweet spot.
It's masala cinema. That's a 12-course meal right there.
God, it is so long.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Eric, I remember you being especially fond of this one.
I'm telling you, my since seeing that film, my new uncle's giant Viru. We spent so much time together riding bikes and hitting on chicks and climbing water towers. It's great. I love this film. There's so much to love about it. I don't care about the gay bicycle antics and sing-alongs. I'm there for it every minute. And Gabbard Singh is a mean bastard. Step on that snake. I give this one a 23.
23.
Wow. All right.
This was a 20 for me. I sort of made the call early of just kind of, just for this occasional masala thing, like, like the I thought the initial musical number of the two guys riding around on the bikes, just singing about that, like just what a good friendship they had. I mean, that high point in the film for me, like that sets everything up. All the other romantic songs and things felt just so insincere by comparison. I just ended up just kind of blazing over those. Nobody has mentioned Hitler Warden so far. Nobody has mentioned gay Hitler Warden so far. This is a movie that was constantly entertaining, constantly surprising. And then I go in to this movie just being like, well, I had a good time. We'll see about everybody else. And just the enthusiasm Eric fucking brought. This movie was so crazy.
You're like, bring something for me. I need a little something. There we go. Hitler Warden. Okay.
Hitler Warden.
That was for
Now
John.
I'm locked in.
Also about 10 minutes of the film out of the 2 hours and 24-minute film.
This one was a 20 for me. And Naveen.
All right. Yeah, one I grew up with as a kid, watching it, no subtitles, not really knowing the language well, and loving it then. Now, a little less so, because now there were subtitles, so I couldn't really tell what they were saying. So it kind of gave away some of the arm scenes and things. So being a kid and dumb is a little bit more fun watching it than being an adult and dumb. So I'm gonna go with 20 as well, though.
20.
But it's still a classic. Still loved it. Still would watch it again.
A movie I think nobody had any idea what to expect going in, and everybody was very pleasantly surprised.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Next for Asian cinema, this is The Raid. This was Andy's blind pick. Yeah, we sent sort of like the best of sort of multiple countries. This is I believe still the only Indonesian entry that we have on the film. So Andy, what'd you think of this one?
This is another one that please make a video game of it right away.
It is a video game.
It is a video game. I mean,
yeah.
Survival horror.
So this movie was a great action movie. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it. I would go back and watch it again. I still actually have not watched the second one.
Watch it.
I know I should, and I always forget that I want to. But this was a great movie. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm gonna give this one a 16.
Eric, how about yourself? And you have actually seen The Raid Part 2, so could you speak on that a little bit as well?
I don't remember because we've seen so many films, but I do remember liking the sequel slightly better than the original because the first one is just madness. Just it's nonstop action. Story is completely secondary. But I mean, all the scenes when they're trying to escape the building, falling through floors, even like the hand-to-hand combat scenes, everything is just, it shines. It feels so real, and just the pacing, it's a great film.
Right.
When you think of like an action film or survival film. The sequel, they kind of take what they did with the first one. You do have more of a story now, but you still
a little
have
more polished, like a little more Hollywood.
It is. You get the polish, but you still have they retain the same level of action. I believe it happened at a prison, and it does continue from the first one. I did appreciate the second one a little better, but I gave this one a 16 as well.
This was the best action movie I've watched in a very, very long time. The whole thing looked like it was made for $27. Everybody half killed themselves putting like this thing together. It's basically about, when you kind of look at what they set up in the first 5 minutes, a guy arrives at hell and he's descending into hell. And I don't think there's so little need for story in this one, because it's just like, just how do I fight my way back out of hell? There is one stunt where you see a guy fall about 3 stories through like the open kind of multi-floor cavern, like building itself, hit a balcony in the small of his back, and then like kind of tumble down like another 3 stories. None of that was planned. The guy that was the most severe injury they had to deal with over the course of the movie. The guy was still out of the hospital after like about a week or so, back on the set. This thing was just punk as fuck. This was a 23 for me. I think it was my top.
Oh, wow.
Whoa!
I've seen the Raid Part 2 as well. It's fun. It's pretty good. It has a lot more kind of cleanup and polish on it. I don't think it's the same kind of thing. I'll go into Naveen.
I'm going 23 as well. I just love the fast pace of it, the high energy, him getting through. I mean, I think it had to have a little bit of plot. You know, he was a cop wanting to stop this gang, and along the way, hopefully save his brother, which didn't happen, but spoiler it. But just everything, him going up the floors and things to conquer whatever he needed to do. Well, actually taking over for the boss, who was just not as with it as he was pretty neat in itself, for him to take over and just whoop some ass. I thought it was really awesome.
Nice. We got to tip our hat to Mad Dog too.
Yeah, Mad
Dog. He came back
guy.
in the sequel, right?
He's in the sequel too. That guy
also does like the most video game thing when he's fighting the brothers. He's completely brought down at one point, and then you can almost see his health bar refill when he gets back on his street, and he's completely different energy, doing completely different moves. He's just like, you have not yet seen Mad Dog's final form.
He just keeps coming.
Yeah, Madder Dog. Eric's third somewhat controversial pick. We are.
Hey, I don't like the energy you're bringing to this.
Well, then you're really not going to like what Andy's about to say.
Eric's fantastic third pick that excited everybody about Asian cinema.
Andy, we're starting with you.
Well, okay. Here's what I'll say. I enjoyed this one a lot more than I enjoyed Akira.
Sing the song. Sing the song.
Oh, no, because it's going to sound racist if I do it.
Right.
How are you going to sing it? Jeez.
Here's the thing about katakana.
I'm just going to use the accent.
Yeah, he's going to put the accent on it.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, I enjoyed it a lot more than Akira. Exactly one more than Akira. 6.
That was a 6.
Wow, that's Good Boys energy.
Yeah.
Eric,
I enjoyed it as much as Good Boys.
Yeah. The thing I loved about this film was the conversation the boy had about Kamchatka and about Japanese funerals and how they burn the bodies. And this boy's like, how hot? He's asking his mom. He's like, so what do they do with the bodies? And she's like, oh, they burn them. And he's like, how hot is it? And she's like, hot as she's like, it's really hot. He's like, hot as Kamchatka? And she's like, yes, hot as Kamchatka. And he's like, small shit like that excites me because I didn't know what the fuck Kamchatka was. And I asked my Japanese wife, she's like, yeah, Kamchatka, obviously, near Russia. And I was like, wow, okay. Huh. I guess it's a Japanese thing.
There's vibrant culture.
If you ever played the game Earthbound, this movie makes sense to you. Or you played RPGs, Japanese RPGs back in the day. it interweaves video game elements with these kids that are just have really shitty situations. They each get their weapon of choice, which is an instrument, and they form a band, and they just blow up overnight. I thought it was it's very Japanese, but it also is very unique in what they're attempting to do with how they're doing it. I gave it a 17.
On paper, this should have been a perfect movie for me. It's all things that I like: Japanese music, old school Japanese RPGs, a lot of crazy, goofy bullshit, teenagers that are pissed off for actually valid reasons about how legitimately bad their lives are. I don't know why it didn't kind of land harder or sort of better for me. So I can't, as much as this should entirely be my wheelhouse, I can't give this higher than a 10. And Naveen?
All right. Yeah, I'm also giving it a 10. A lot of cool things there with the way they made it look like a video game, with the way they were walking, the little vignettes. But it was just kind of long, and I couldn't really get into it. Although I keep saying it, but I haven't taken Eric's suggestion of actually watching it as little episodes to break it up, and maybe that would be a little more easier to take. But right now, it's a 10. It was a 10.
Yeah. And my pick to wrap up Asian cinema, Kung Fu Hustle, are just tiptoeing up to 10,000 views, our highest easily for not just long form, any content that we've got on our channel. Andy, we'll start with you.
Kung Fu Hustle. What a fun movie. Had never seen it before. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was just nuts in the best possible way. Some super weird stuff goes on. The characters are awesome. It's a Looney Tunes cartoon in live action form. Really enjoyed it. 19.
Eric.
If you haven't seen this film, watch this film. It is so funny, and I mean it's funny, but it brings so much other things to it that make it just special. It's well deserving of the 10,000 views it's gotten. The martial arts is fantastic. The special effects are fantastic. The humor's there. If you like Looney Tunes or that kind of stuff, it's all there. It's just a great film all around. I give it a 24.
24. This one is a 23 for me. No movie with this level of kind of fights and special effects and just sort of pure imagination should also work this well as a pure comedy. It's one of the best that there is. 23. Naveen?
Yep, going 24 as well. Funny, great story arc, great character arc, hero's journey, everything about it that you guys have said. Oh, it's fantastic. Watch it if you haven't seen it. Watch it if you haven't seen it. Watch it if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. Okay, so all this positivity, all this glowing good energy they have, drum roll. Opportunity knocks.
I'm more excited.
I am just now realizing the 13th feature we covered on the show, lucky number 13.
Oh, wow. Nice.
This is the start of our SNL leads. This was... Not to name him like he's on the stand at the fucking Nuremberg trials, but this was Naveen's pick. Andy, let's start with you.
This is a movie where the most likable character is a baseball. This is, without question, the worst movie we have watched on this pod. In my opinion, I cannot give it. Yep, that's my hot take. I can't give it. I won't give it any lower than a 3, just because I want to leave room just in case.
Yeah.
But man, is this thing a turd?
Yeah.
I'm curious about the battle between Opportunity Knocks and Ninja 3: The Domination.
We'll get there in about 7 hours.
Yeah.
In one Andy sitting of Sholay. Eric, were you on the Opportunity Knocks?
I was.
Right.
The first thing I said is, God damn, why did I have to pay to watch this film?
Yeah,
I want my money back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it $3.99, which was $3.98.
There's a before and after on my Amazon Prime recommendation list where suddenly we all rented Opportunity Knocks.
Yeah.
And suddenly, over like the months, if not years since then, I have lost count of the number of shows we have covered on the podcast that immediately become free on Amazon Prime. I think we got the algorithm's attention somehow. We
I remember that we all rent this around the same time, and then all of a sudden it started popping up more as like recommendations for like Amazon Prime, where it's like,
right,
you should check out this one. This one's pretty popular right now. Yeah, this film, I believe I did see it back in the day. I probably didn't know any better or what film I was even watching, just that it had Dana Carvey in it. And it's so cringe. There's so many cringe moments. I mean, and then also Dana Carvey attempting to speak Japanese, which he doesn't know.
A guy who was politely just "Oterai doko desu ka? Where is the bathroom?"
He should have just said "Ching Chong." Ching Chong, Ching Chong, Ching Chong. Robert Loggia, he was the star of the film. This should have been called Loggia Knocks. I don't know what that even means. He knocks on the baseball. I give it a... Andy, I agree. It's a 3.
Yeah.
It's a 3 because there is a semblance of a story there.
Yeah. I made a cursory search. Have any other American English language podcast covered Opportunity Knocks? The answer is no. I made a subsequent deeper dive search where like has Opportunity Knocks been brought up in transcripted conversation in any American English language podcast? The answer actually was not just yes, but on blank check, the movie was briefly covered. They discuss it for about 3 minutes when they're going over like the weekend box office of something else that was released that weekend, a movie, including like a movie we'll kind of get to like in a little bit, but they bring up Opportunity Knocks because like the one thing they knew it from is how insane the promotional material was for this film. They had the church lady in the trailer for this thing, talking about how funny it was, and then when people actually went to the theaters, watched the film, they realized the church lady was not in this movie in any capacity. This one's a 3.
Where's Garth?
Yeah, I'm going 3 as well. I was, dumb 10-year-old kid, 9-year-old kid watching this movie, be like, oh, it's awesome because it's got Dana Carvey in it. It's great. And then, being slightly smarter now, it's like, wow. That was
nostalgia can be like disciplines.
So yeah.
Somehow the follow-up to Opportunity Knocks, the Dana Carvey follow-up to Opportunity Knocks, which was The Master in Disguise, is like a Scorsese movie compared to this one.
It sure is.
Was that Master of Disguise?
Yeah. Whatever it was, yeah.
He has an almost equally unknown, because like Master of Disguise was college. He has 1 or 2 other almost completely or even like less well-known movies. Like there's something with the girl from the Hot Shots movies that I couldn't find anything on.
Clean Slate was another movie of his. That was
Clean Slate. I remember seeing that one.
Yeah.
I watched it a couple times and I actually liked it.
Then he had some movies where he was more of a side role.
Right. Next up, Andy's pick for the SNL leads, a truly unknown, a film I've insisted on calling for the entirety of the pod since we watched Valkenvania, 1991. Andy, let's go first with this.
Yeah, I mean, I'd seen it dozens of times before the pod.
Dozens.
Yeah, I've seen it a bunch of times.
Wow.
And I'm really, really glad that I was able to expose everybody that hadn't seen it to it. It's crazy. It's weird. It's gross. It's funny. It's puzzling. It's a lot of those things. I still love this movie. I'd say 18, tied with Sholay. It
was an 18.
Yep.
Eric.
I agree. I gave it an 18 as well. I hadn't seen this one before. The one that the person out of all the crazy actors, there's so many good actors in this film. You got Candy, Demi Moore, Chevy Chase, but it was Dan Aykroyd. That son of a bitch made this for me. You could just tell how much he loved this film. He enjoyed it so much. And I'm telling you, I haven't been invited to a dinner buffet where there's a train serving you food. But if I ever am, I'll be your best friend for life. Just don't present me with a penis nose for dessert. 18 for me.
18. 21 for me. Just the scene where Tupac and Humpty Hump and the entirety of Digital Underground performs sex packets. And then Tupac holds up a newspaper that says 2026 and warns us a whole bunch of things about Trump. And then all the horny bullshit with just Ann Aykroyd and his brother in diapers, just being real fucking gross to Demi Moore, maybe the hottest she's been in her entire career. John Candy as the mute twin and the cop. I love a mystery house. I love fucking chaos. I just think this thing is it's kind of the opposite of like everything that I should have loved in We Love Little Zombies, all the weird bullshit I did love in this. This is a 21 for me.
I would say it could have been a 22 or 23 for John if they had Simon Belmont in it.
Yeah.
Maybe the captain and Simon Belmont.
Where somebody just holds up a copy of Silent Hill F. He's like, you'll understand this when the time comes. Australia, Pennsylvania. God, I had such a good time with this movie. Naveen.
I too had seen this dozens of times before.
No way! Yeah, wow, you guys.
Many times in the '90s when it
came on. Fans
didn't see it, in theaters or anything, but just when it came on TV, it was like, oh, it was a fun watch. So I enjoyed it for all the same reason you guys said. I was not on this episode, but still remember it fondly, so I give it a 19.
SNL leads. This was, I believe, my pick. This is Lost in Translation, Sofia Coppola, the starring vehicle for Bill Murray and for Billy Boy, and the introduction of Scarlett Johansson as a major Hollywood star. Andy, Lost in Translation. Start with you. Had you seen this before?
Yes, one time.
One time, okay.
Yeah. I didn't have a lot of recollection of it, but there were kind of like flashes of scenes that I kind of remembered just sort of like as snapshots in my head. I struggled with this one because it is a good movie. It's an interesting movie. It's really well done. I think the acting is pretty stellar in it, but it left me feeling icky at the end of it.
Sure.
So because of that, it's a 13. I think it's a better film than that, but I think the way that they kind of tie it all up, kind of just left me feeling kind of gross.
Got it. Eric, how about yourself?
I've watched this movie many times at different points in my life when I was located in different continents, going through different situations. And since the first time I watched it, it makes you, if you haven't been to Japan before, it perfectly recreates that feeling of waking up in a taxi. You're not sure where you are. There's bright lights. There's lots of just insanity going on around you. You can't explain or understand. And then it just opens your eyes to it, like a whole new way of living that you've never known. And it's this film too, especially connecting with somebody else experiencing the same thing you're experiencing. It's, I don't know. It was just, it's such a romantic kind of feeling, and I can't explain it, but for me, this is a 25.
This is the 25.
The first time I saw it, it hit something. It hit all the right notes for me.
Is that our first 25 of the evening?
First of the night.
No, I rated Big
Trouble.
Trouble and The Thing 25. Eric's also rated The Thing 25.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I also am a huge Bill Murray fan ever since the 80s. So, I mean, you throw Bill Murray in there and watch him try to swim in Tokyo, and it's just brilliant.
Eric, to the best of my memory, showed this movie to me and then moved to Tokyo the next day, leaving me to finish grad school in Worcester for the next 2 years. Good friend.
Not what happened, but I left you with
He
Tom
showed me either
Popo.
this or Tampopo. Was one.
I
of the
left
two.
you with Tom Popo, and I said, "Hey, this
yeah.
is how they make Japanese ramen, and all the effort it takes into making something super delicious."
Right.
And I'm like, "It's not that same cup of noodle shit that you get from like the grocery store." And you're like, "Fuck you," and I'm like, "All right, I'm leaving anyways."
Right. So, Tampopo was actually the worst one to like leave me on. Like, come to think of it,
Lost in Translation, I watched when I got back from Japan. Actually, 2003. So actually, you know what? No, maybe this was after coming back when I couldn't find a job there. And I had spent 5 months trying to find a job so I could stay in Tokyo because I was living with my girlfriend, now wife at the time. And I remember my parents were just kind of like, look, your grandfather passed away. It's really tough. I get it. If you don't want to keep trying to live out there. Hey, this fantastic movie came out. You should check out. And I watch it and I'm like, this is the reason why I should fucking be there.
Yeah. For me, if you asked me after I saw this movie the first time, I would have said 25. I would have said a 25. Certainly, if you asked me the first time I went out to Japan, and Eric and his then girlfriend, now wife, were so gracious to host me, not just for my first trip in like 2006, but my second like in 2007. It's a place that completely just blows you away, just kind of rewrites your brain. This revisit was like a little bit tough because I'm like, this is I've been fortunate enough to have lived out there. I've been fortunate enough to kind of travel many times out there. I've been fortunate, I've had the wonderful luck of just meeting like the greatest woman from Tokyo, and I've had like wonderful like long-term like relationship with her. So I've been to this country many times and just kind of gotten to know the people better and the culture better. And this time, Lost in Translation came off as like a little bit racist, like a little bit entitled, like a little bit like people kind of it's a thing for me that was so profound at the time. You kind of you absorb yourself in the culture, and you sort of you do get past like the weirdness and the initial shock, and it just there are these breakthroughs that you have of just kind of understanding like the people and the culture and like the world out there. I'm like, this isn't some mystical sort of alien thing that I think you kind of tend to think like when the first time you're out there. So this I can't. It's still an incredible accomplishment. It's important, but I don't think I can really give this like higher than a 16.
Wow.
Yeah,
for what
it is now. For what it is to me now. Going over to Naveen.
All right. I'm gonna give this a 20. I enjoyed this. This was my first time watching it. And I thought it was great. The actors pulled off all the emotions and things that they needed to, and to get the storyline across. So I give it a 20. I like this one.
All right. Wrapping up SNL leads with Eric's pick, and I think his first non-controversial one by a country mile. This is 1998, Norm Macdonald starring Dirty Work. Andy, let's go first with you.
This was the first time I'd seen this movie.
I don't remember
which is odd because it's the kind of thing that I would have if I had seen it when it came out. When did it come out? 1998. So
98.
Yeah. If I had seen it in 1998, it would probably be one of my all-time favorite comedies ever. Period. Having seen it for the first time when I was 44 years old or something like that, it didn't hit quite as hard. But I would say it's a funny movie. And I would give it this one I'm torn on. I would give it a 14.
Eric?
I've seen this movie a million times. It's a Comedy Central staple. They show this one over and over and over again. But again, after seeing Norm Macdonald and Billy Madison, I'm like, this guy, he needs his own movie. Dirty Work comes out. It has Artie Lang, a weird choice for a sidekick type character, but I guess he was big at the time. Ended up being on Mad TV. I just think this is a special movie. I really like it. A lot of funny moments. It has Jack Warden, aka Pops.
Pops.
Pops is so fucking funny. He makes this film. He's just every time they have Pops in the scene where he talks about whore mothers and his locket and his photo albums, it feels so genuine.
Pops also like prominent a couple movies later in that started the Great Muppet Caper.
Yeah, and it was also the Great Muppet Caper.
We covered it. Yeah,
they're like, you know who we need in the Muppet film? We need Jack Warden.
Right.
Big Pop Jack Warden. I love this film for so many reasons. I give this one a 20.
20. This is a 19 for me. I don't think it is necessarily the best Norm Macdonald performance. But yeah, he's brilliant the entire time. But his real strengths were always his Weekend Update tenure. He was simply the best of the best. And if you followed any of his stand-up comedy, I was fortunate enough to see him perform live just a couple years before he died. For me, I had a great time with this. I was astounded by how many people it turned out Artie Lang actually outlived when you do like the full catalog of it. Still maintain the funniest joke is the opera critic, who like the last 10 minutes, he's just like, oh no, they're doing an avant-garde production of this film. Like, it doesn't come back to him for a while, and then the whole movie, everything just kind of crescendos, and just all this goofy bullshit happens. And Chris Farley has this skunks, and he has his nose bitten off. He's like the Saigon whore, and then at the end of it, the opera critic just stands up and starts fucking applauding. And I'm just so tickled with the idea the entire time he's just there, just yes, just getting more and more excited. This thing, it was fun to watch, but the real joy for me is kind of reflecting on kind of Norm Macdonald, the entirety of his career, and the entirety of his career. This thing, however, kind of just taken like in a vacuum. I want to give it a 19 for me. Cool. And wrapping up on Naveen.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with an 18. Yeah, it's a funny movie, but I think he was done dirty because it should have been the rated R that he wanted to really get those points.
There's
So
it's a Snyder cut version of this that's just impeccable.
Right.
With Bob Saget, and they had so many other jokes. The donut jokes that comes up. I wish they had included
everything
that.
In prison.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Unfortunately, with all those cuts and things, I think it made it into an 18.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay, moving on to our superior sequel cycle. This is, I believe, Eric's pitch for a thematic concept, and like really good one of movies that, particularly for the age that we grew up, most sequels and especially kind of threequels, just always kind of represented the diminishing returns. Eric's idea for this cycle was let's look at the movies where somehow the second one or third or whatever the fuck else was an improvement over what came previously. Starting out, I believe this was
Naveen.
This was Naveen on this, but Mad Max: The Road Warrior. George Miller, Mel Gibson, 1981. Let's start with Andy.
Yeah, so I watched the first one because I hadn't seen the first one. I watched it before I watched The Road Warrior. And I'm conflating the two movies a little bit in my head. I remember liking them both. I remember the first one being vastly different than the second one. But I remember really liking both of them. They were kind of groundbreaking action, visuals, filmmaking, acting, the whole thing. It was great. The Road Warrior for me is a 19.
A 19.
Very, very good movie. Liked it a lot.
Eric, on to you.
Yeah, for me, this one I hadn't seen the original film as well, so I rewatched that, or I watched that for the first time. Road Warrior I had seen before, so I remember liking that one. I would compare this, like, I guess, say if you saw Alien versus Aliens,
sure,
where it's like two different complete films, and I think the sequel was a little better because it just had recognizable characters, it had more charm, it everything was just better.
Further into the future, further into apocalypse, more identity, more distinction. It was like I haven't seen like the original Mad Max, but
was like
imagine Australia had like a bad month and like kind of like
I feel like it was almost like an indie film or something. It was just like low budget. They just came up with a rough script. They came up with something that I think just appealed to so many people because it was just a unique idea. And Mel Gibson's acting, I mean, it was great in that one. So this one was a sequel to it, direct sequel. I gave this one 17.
17.
And hey, Johnny, just to interject for a second, if you haven't seen the original, the first one, Mad Max, you should watch it. It's interesting just to see sort of how the idea of this post-apocalypse or whatever you want to call it, how it kind of went from this not long after the apocalypse happens, or maybe even kind of arguably while it's happening, to what happens thereafter, and then once you get down the way to
it really kind of sets up like the timeline and the narrative.
Yeah, it's worth watching because it's really interesting.
And it's nice because they don't do like a T2 reboot kind of situation. It's a direct continuation.
It is a full continuation, right?
Yeah.
The roadway for me, it's big trucks and car chases, and there's a certain kind of like action thing that's just, for whatever reason, it's never quite been my bag. Fury Road, people hold up as one of the modern uncontestable action movies, and even that for me is just kind of fine. I liked the world building. I liked the just the depiction of the different gangs, and and just how they showed the little settlement that the marginally more civilized people had kind of put together. I loved the costumes, and like the fact that everybody had a distinct style and a distinct thing going on. Lord Humongous, it's just
not that big.
Yeah. everybody in both the Outlander gangs, but also in like kind of like that slightly more civilized kind of peaceful settlement, everyone had their own distinct thing, and I love seeing a piece of creative work like that where the creator decided to be a complete lunatic and sat down and like, I'm gonna figure out the backstory and meaning of dozens on dozens on dozens of people in that. So that part for me was exciting. The car chase stuff is just always just for whatever reason just not reached a certain part of my brain. But I really had a good time overall with this thing. I'm going to score it the same as Eric. I'm going to call it a 17. And go into Naveen.
Cool. It's one I love. I think it's a great sequel. I know they came out with all these other ones, Fury Road, Furiosa, which had some great color and things to it, but just the practical effects with this one made it that superior sequel, better than the other ones. I'm going to go with 22 on this one. I really liked it and enjoyed it. I remember watching it as a kid oftentimes when it come on TV.
This is a perennial cable movie, right? This was on like all the time.
Oh yeah, it was.
Okay, going to a superior sequel nobody was expecting, nobody saw coming. Denis Villeneuve's, also the director, by the way, of Dune Part 2. Dune 2 Chicks at Once, man. ... Pretty good. Eric still being stubborn.
Yes.
Blade Runner 2049. This was Andy. All right, so let's start with Andy.
Didn't care at all about the original Blade Runner. Thought it was boring. Have watched it a couple of times. Just never did anything for me. I know that listeners of Middle-Aged Men podcasts would probably argue with me about that, but didn't care. This movie, still think it's excellent. I kind of liked everything about it. I would say, not the least of which would be Ana de Armas, being her. 19.
Is she still the number one on the pod, or like has Space Girl from Life Force supplanted any of the?
Not for me. She's number one for me.
Still IA de Armas. Okay.
Yeah, definitely my choice. But yeah, 19. I couldn't rank it higher than the Road Warrior, based on other things that I rank in the future that we'll get to. I couldn't go any higher than 19, but I really, really love this film.
Got it. Going to Eric, who I believe is a fan of the original Blade Runner.
I am a fan of the original Blade Runner. I mean, I watched it many, many times. I agree. There's different versions of it, so there's different endings that you can experience. If it's your first time and you get the wrong one, I mean, it could just sour it for you. Also, I had read the original story by Philip K. Dick. Enjoyed that as well. This sequel, again, surprised me. I didn't expect it to be this good. I was expecting one of those things they do where they bring back an old film and they're like, okay, we're going to take the original cast and they're still alive in this world. And we're just going to transition from the new character, the old characters into the new characters, and be respectable to this franchise. But I mean, they do that here, but they don't harp on it too much, which I love. It just feels so natural. And you really get to experience this new world more than anything. And you're at the same time, you're like, hey, there's Harrison Ford. Yeah, they bring him back and that's cool. He's being Harrison Ford, but it doesn't make that the whole focus of the film. This is also, I have to give it an extra point because I am shocked how much I love Andy's artwork that he came up with for this movie.
Top 5 of a probably an incontrovertible run of just nearly perfect kind of like pop podcast art. So like the fact anything is in like the top category of anything when you consider like the whole catalog of Andy's art. It's, you can't see it. It is if I minimize, if I did a full screen share and I minimize my browser, you could see it's my background right now on my laptop.
You torment me so much because I love the artwork. I love what you created, but I can't buy a shirt off Redbubble because if I caught wearing that shirt, my wife will leave me. So I guess it's that good.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah. But I also love sci-fi films, and I just thought this was a superior sequel. I give it a 20.
This is 20. I'm going to do something I never do, which is use a sports analogy. This is coming from death.
Please don't.
My father explained like one of the most kind of remarkable career things that has been done ever in the history of baseball, general management. I don't know the guy's name. I'm not going to look it up, but the dude who originally brought the Red Sox to 2 different World Series victories in 2004 and 2007. Everybody's like, well, you just did the most impossible thing in the entire history of baseball. And he's like, no, I have not done the most impossible thing yet. And then a few years later, he went over to the Chicago Cubs and brought them to a World Series victory. And he's like, now I've done the most impossible thing ever in baseball. Denis Villeneuve made a Blade Runner sequel that was not just great. I'd argue was like a little bit better than like the original one, which I like fine. My father had it on Betamax. I watched it over time, but this Blade Runner 2049 was just, I mean, he pulled off an impossible thing, similar to this GM kind of first, like kind of just doing like the Red Sox like kind of World Series victory, and then Villeneuve was like, yeah, you know what, I am going to go and now make a really, really good Dune movie, which would be the analog of I am just gonna, I'm not bringing the Cubs to that. And then after that, people would say, well, now you've done the most impossible thing because you've adapted the first half of the original Dune book, and it was great. So you can probably rest on your laurels because like everybody acknowledges that, Frank Herbert had 6 Dune books. The first half of the first one is good, and everything after that is largely regarded as shit. Villeneuve went, yeah, you know what? Fuck that. I am going to now adapt the second bad half of the first Dune book and not just make something great, but I'm going to make possibly like the best of like a sort of science fiction film kind of created, like the modern era. So just one miracle after another in this guy's career, kind of starting with 2049. This one would have originally been a 20 for me. Anna de Armas adds 2 points for it, just for
For her two arms.
We got like Andy's art and then like so much more. So, but like that 22 leaves me with a 24 for the first Dune and a 25 for the second one. 22 points. Going to
That's too
Dune.
much Dune.
Nice.
How you Dune in?
This is a 20 for me. Also, yeah, thought it was definitely a superior sequel. I did like the first one as well, but this one just did it better. And storyline, the look of it, everything tying in the first one as well. I thought they did really well. They did really well. So, yeah, 20 for me.
20 for you. Superior sequels, and importantly, we did not hold ourselves to the experience in the rewatch of still considering that these movies were superior sequels. But this is my pick, Jim Henson's The Great Muppet Caper. Start with Andy.
I love the Muppets. I always have. This is probably, this is one of my favorites of probably my favorite of the original kind of Muppet movies. I like some of the newer ones as well, but I would give this one realistically probably like a 16. I'm going to go with
16.
Really enjoyed it. It's a fun movie. It's not anything phenomenal, but it's great in for what it is.
Got it. I'll go to Eric.
I watched this and I watched the original.
Had you not seen either or not seen
I had seen them. It had been so long. I had never rewatched them since I saw them as a kid. I mean, Muppets has always been kind of meh for me. I enjoy the films, mostly because they're both from the 80s. So like kudos to that. But and the practical effects are fun. I like the characters, the dialogue. There's a lot going for them. Also Jack Warden. I mean, you got Jack Warden, right. So Pops is back.
John Cleese in like a pretty kind of like
True.
underrated.
True.
Just popping in, just kind of just giving heat for 5 minutes.
Yeah. That said, I mean, I think it's okay. I'll give it a 10.
Giving it a 10.
Ooh, ouch.
Yeah. Muppets is
I'm more of a Fraggle Rock kind of guy.
I'm a Fraggle. I prefer Popples.
And the bird of the evening.
I was more into Gummy Bears. Gummy Bears.
That was a great show.
That was a great
show. The animation was just
God damn.
Loved it.
Sniper. This was my easily favorite Muppet movie growing up, but the revisit as an adult. Two things held it back like a little bit. I saw the original Muppet movie in the theater about a month or so before we did this cycle, and that one is that's a 25 out of 25. Great Muppet Caper revisiting for me. I'm like this has an insanely great third act, but does drag a little bit at a couple points. Like the bike scene goes on for a bit too long. The Piggy sort of kind of like the synchronized, like the Busby Berkeley synchronized swimming scene goes on for a bit longer. I started as I was watching this, rewatching it, had flashbacks to watching this film on my Betamax and kind of fast forwarding through those parts. It was good. It was not great as like an adult rewatch. So I'm going to call this a 21. And the V.
One of my favorites of all time. Still one of my favorites. I'm going 22. Just love
22.
The jokes. Everything about it still holds up great. Learning about some of the special effects that they did to make it work and happen was awesome. And I will not reiterate those ones here because I know some of us don't want to hear about them, and I understand.
Naveen, even in high school, would occasionally throw out, "What color are their hands now?"
Oh, yeah. The greatest line in that they use like 5 times. It's fantastic.
Okay, and we so, ladies and gentlemen, we have covered a quarter of like the features we've gone through on today, and we're kind of coming up on time. So let's wind it down. Superior sequels on Eric's pick. After sort of kind of bringing everybody together with dirty work, he sort of decided to rock the boat like a little bit with
Return to
long delayed. I'm trying to remember like the
psychological horror flick
based on famed historical novel Wisconsin Death Trip. I'm trying to remember the director. I'm blanking on his name, but 1985 star also of Almost Famous Veruza Balk. Her first credited film will Return to Oz, a film Eric, by his own admission, would torture people with at sleepovers because he just wanted to find out who are my real friends. So, Andy, let's start with
you. Eric and I would not have been real friends, apparently, when for those sleepovers. This movie was the first time I'd seen it was for this
I had a
walk.
Super Nintendo, by the way, if you wanted to play some Street Fighter 2 Turbo Edition instead.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I just
also every Fraggle Rock VHS.
Yeah.
I would rather have watched those as well.
You want to rock the Fraggles? Let's go.
Big Doozer fan. This movie, I just didn't get it, man. It was so fucking weird, and it was, you know, such an out of left field follow up to a movie that I'd watched a million times growing up as a kid because it's my mother's all time favorite movie. So anytime it came on, it just stayed on. Yeah, this was a tough one for me to watch. There was some really great scenes in it, some really interesting stuff. The Rock King going from rock to more rock to more king.
The Norm King
with his ruby slippers
and his literal crack pipe.
Sneaky little freak.
Right.
Super weird. The Hall of Heads, super weird.
So good.
It's a bizarre movie. It's another one that I think I probably would have liked a lot more had I seen it earlier. But not too much earlier because it probably would have scarred me for life if I was like, you know, grade school age. Anyway, this one's a 6 for me.
It's a 6. Whew. Papa, going to you.
This film, I'm looking it up right now for rankings of Disney movies that were not horror movies, but were received by children as horror movies. And Return to Oz is the third one on the list.
What was ahead of it? What the hell?
There was another movie that they actually, I think it was do you remember, I think it was like Sunday nights they used to do like those Disney, what was it, like Disney Presents or something? They used to do movies. Disney would do movies on Sunday nights.
Did not have cable, did not have Disney Channel.
You're right. That's right.
Wasn't
Every
it like
Sunday,
Walt Disney Presents?
I think that's what it is. Walt
Something
Disney
like
Presents.
that. Yeah.
And they would do these original films sometimes. And they had one called Something Wicked This Way Comes. It came out in 1983 based off a Ray Bradbury novel.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And I heard it has like a boogeyman in it. It terrified the shit out of kids, and then it never reemerged after that again. You couldn't even find it on like Disney Channel, like nowhere. It just recently they posted it on Disney Plus. I want to say in like the last 3 years.
Right.
There's another one called The Watcher in the Woods I never heard of.
The Ray Bradbury thing would make sense.
Betty Davis.
We covered. We read for an English class early in high school a idyllic summer when I was 14 years old, kind of like semi-memoiristic, kind of just YA novel he wrote called Dandelion Wine. The whole thing builds up to reveal that there was a serial killer kind of stalking around the town the entire time.
Oh, geez.
Like most of this book is just about him just trying to get a new pair of shoes.
So like this
riveting.
Movie,
yeah. I
this
remember that book.
is that feeling I got when I saw that animated film of Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, which was also equally terrifying. But this for me, it was so out there, but I loved the world. I loved the characters. If you go back and try to watch the original Wizard of Oz movie, it's boring. It is very boring and it is long. It doesn't hit the same way that you remember it. So watching this one, it's not a long film. I think it's an hour and a half or so, but it's so different than the original one, and it's dark. And that's what I related to. I'm like, I love the Hall of Heads. This woman who just can take her head off and put on different heads, whatever she's feeling for the mood. They have a desert where if you touch the desert, you're immediately
a skeleton.
Turn to sand. They have the Wheelers. You get Dorothy gets lost in a maze and there's Wheelers. But I also love all the new characters they introduce. Instead of it, they show you like everybody she knew from the originals turned to stone. and now we have all these new characters, which were all in the books that were. So none of this stuff is like original ideas. This was all based off the original books that just people never got past the first one. I love this film. I honestly did bring it to sleepovers and scare the shit out of my friends. That's the only way you could be friends with me, through this rite of initiation of watching this. So you're welcome, friends. You're welcome. Right. I give
all people who are still in contact with Eric and have good, mature relationships.
Yeah, I lost all my friends after elementary school. Right. I give this one a 20. What?
Eric and I were always destined to host a completely ridiculous, frequently stupid, sometimes even evil, two-man spinoff podcast together. Because after college, I remember kind of being like at his apartment, and there may or may not have been like a little sort of herbal smoke sort of being passed around. And I did not know about Eric and his history with Return to Oz. And to the best of my memory, I suddenly, as we were just kind of sitting there trying to figure out kind of something to watch for the night, I think I was the one who actually tossed out. You remember that movie Wizard of Oz from like when we were like back in the day, like when we were kids? We both headed down the street to like the indie video store on like the outskirts of Amherst. They, by some miracle, had a pristine copy sitting on the shelf. Almost looked like no one had ever rented it before.
Oh yeah.
Hey, and my comment to Eric was like, I remember this being crazy when I watched this back in the day, and the satisfaction of this film for somebody who's like who is fascinated by weirdness, certainly fascinated by the macabre, absolutely fascinated by whatever corporate culture there was in the 80s that let this kind of thing be made. And with the amount of money that they must have spent paying out MGM to be like, let us use the ruby slippers for this one fucking scene. We promise it won't be weird or involve a crack pipe. These are just my favorite Hollywood stories. I did not, until we did this podcast, know that Eric had kind of this crazy kind of backstory of the movie. I was just like, this is the night to watch this movie. This is the friend to watch this movie with. This one is a 22 for me. No question. I am still fascinated by it. I've been thoroughly entertained every time I've gotten back to it. Okay. And Naveen.
Yeah, I couldn't get into this one. It was really crazy and weird for me. I'm going to give this one a 12.
12.
Maybe I need to revisit it. I don't know, but it didn't do it for me. So,
are you sure you didn't go out and buy a pair of ruby slippers after watching it?
No, I stick with the silver ones. I don't want to draw too much attention to myself.
Right.
I'm not that much of an attention.
That's another guy that read the books.
Yeah.
Okay. So through the magic of Google Sheets, I'm going to do like a very quick sort. I'm going to do another quick sort because I fucked that first one up. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to read down. We're running a little over time, so the ranking real quick. So top to bottom or bottom to the top?
Top to bottom.
Top to bottom. So at number 1 on our list, The Thing with 97 points. Big Trouble in Little China with 95. Kung Fu Hustle with 90. The Warriors at 85. Sholay at 81. Blade Runner 2049 tied at 81 points. The Raid 78. Valkenvania 76. Road Warrior 75. Lost in Translation 74. Jumping a tiny bit down, we have Dirty Work at 71. Great Muppet Caper 69.
Nice.
The Rock at 65. Equal at 65. Empire Records. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 with like the normalization that I did for the scoring. That includes Naveen's brother's score of a 7. That is a 62.
Can I have a question, and I'm gonna throw it out to you guys to see if you will allow it. Okay. Can I change my Texas Chainsaw Massacre number?
You can.
I'm good at that.
The reason so it was the first one that we actually did, and I kind of didn't really think through everything. 14 for me is too high. Okay. Realistically, I think that one's probably more like a 10 for me.
10. Okay. So let's see how that Modify the number. Okay, so that great news for Andy. That bumps Return to Oz further up the list.
Oh, you sly dog.
Really can't win on this one. So
I still won't watch Dune 2 as thanks for what you just did there.
All right.
That's fair.
So that post Return to Oz at 15th place with a 60. Texas Chainsaw at 58. Good Boys with a 55. Akira 46. We Are Little Zombies with 43. 42 for Almost Famous. And then a somewhat substantial drop. Opportunity Knocks 30 points lower.
I feel like I changed my score for this one to a 1.
Second to last with an entire 12 points.
Generous.
Consistent threes across the board. Gentlemen, that is, we're running late, and that is just a quarter of the feature films that we have that we've covered on this truly incredible journey that the four of us have been on the last couple.
All right.
I like this ranking. I like this.
Yeah. Closing thoughts.
I don't want anybody to comment on this. I'm just going to throw it out there as a question for us to all ponder. Okay. Does Opportunity Knocks end up the lowest at 12 total points? Consider it for yourselves.
That's what I was saying. I was wondering what's the battle between Ninja 3, I think, and Opportunity Knocks.
I don't know.
I'm going to give a higher score for Ninja 3, unfortunately.
Where
I think it's going to save it.
Where do we feel Rad is going to fit?
Oh, come on, ass sliding?
Oh yeah.
Take that prom with the
ended up being a
felon. Like dancing, Lori Loughlin before she was a criminal.
Yeah, Rad's gonna be great.
That woman always had criminal energy.
We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. No speculations. I don't want to influence the Vegas odds.
Yeah, but there's part 1. Looking forward to ranking the rest. See what happens.
Yeah, this was fun.
I have to come up with more Star Wars puns. Jesus.
Yeah, we've got time now.
Do we really have to?
Maybe we could pivot the theme to be
about what, Johnny?
Other pits.
Other.
So
wow. Okay.
Pitch,
that's a different podcast.
Three guys pitch other pits. We could do more of this. What are other pits?
Armpits.
Armpits.
Cherry pit.
Cherry pit.
Cherry pit.
Somebody has to say Brad Pitt. Nobody said
Pittsburgh.
Brad. Pittsburgh.
I was gonna say Pittsburgh. Brad Pitt. That's a good one.
And Brad Pitt. Yeah.
Mr. T, I pity the fool.
There
you go.
Yep.
Whole Mr. T thing. I've never seen a single episode of the A-Team.
What?
Oh, geez, man.
Really?
New pod. New pod.
Yeah.
I had the voice.
New pod.
Wait.
What was his name in the show? Marcellus Wallace? Like I don't like he wasn't called Mr. T in the show, right?
No, he was Mr. T. He was B.A. Baracus.
He was B.A. Baracus, yeah.
Yeah.
So they came up with a sillier name than Mr. T. That's nice.
Sarlacc pit.
Sarlacc pit. And that stays in the Star Wars thing, though. We'll have to review another. I don't know.
Anyway,
Pit of Despair, isn't that something?
Isn't that the never-ending story? Oh no, that was the swamp.
The Nothing.
The Nothing. Yeah.
That was the Sex Swamp. What?
That was the Sex Swamp. Yeah.
The Sex Swamp in Pittsburgh.
The Fire Pit.
Yeah,
let's wind it down there. So, episode 95, Rebels of the Pod, the Rank or Pit. I had a good time. How about you guys?
Oh, fantastic!
Yep, this was fun.
This was fun.
Yep.
Glad we did this.
I believe Eric is going to be off for the next week, but we are recording episode 18 of Cunny of the Goose in just a couple days. I think by the time we get through that, there will be 40 hours of Goose officially down on the vinyl, depending on how that episode goes.
It's pretty good.
Goosey. And we are coming up on 180 produced hours, like the mainline show itself. Pretty incredible. But we are going to, like I said, be covering the George P. Cosmatos 1986 action film Cobra. That will just be Andy, B, and myself. I think that is going to be it's going to be a live review, but we're going to watch the entire thing ahead. We're doing a full conversation, just kind of change up the format a little bit. See how that goes. That'll be mostly on the film itself, but also a retrospective on the career of Sly Stallone, and also a conversation I just found out the other day of like how he decided to do this movie instead of Beverly Hills Cop.
Good choice.
Hell of a thing. Hell of a thing.
Good
Smart.
So, gentlemen, pleasure as always. See everybody in a little bit.
All right. Bye-bye.
Good night.